This is the story of a black girl marked by a gap in the archive. The gap, which disturbed her, and whose significance she would only later come to understand, appeared just months before the Great Erasure.
We are here in the exhibition, The Adventures of the Black Girl in Her Search for Mabel Dove. The exhibition is by Nena Onwaha.
Before the Great Erasure, divergent histories were possible. Free and equal access to collections allowed scholars and everyday people alike to research and revise interpretations of the shared past.
I first came across her work about 9 years ago. I was doing some research looking through these old newspapers in the British Library. This exhibition in particular is about one short story, which is The Adventures of the Black Girl in Her Search for Mr. Shaw, which was a response to a book by George Bernard Shaw called The Adventures of the Black Girl in Her Search for God.
Bernard Shaw wrote about a black girl that was converted recently to Christianity, and she has questions and is not content with God, so she starts on her way and her adventures and is looking for different gods and asking them questions. And these gods and the black girl are also depicted and illustrated in the book, and it's very visible that it comes from a white perspective, as the black girl is pictured naked and all the gods or people that are white are clothed properly. Mabel Dove's response is a young girl, which is very modern, a black girl in a white dress with a book by Bernard Shaw and a tennis racket, and she goes around the world in her adventures and is looking for Bernard Shaw. So the title of the article series is The Adventures of the Black Girl in Her Search for Bernard Shaw. That's like the second book on this topic of these adventures of the black girl. And then I did find out that there are like the last articles missing from the archive of Mabel Dove's story. So there is no ending to what the black girl in her search for Bernard Shaw is doing. And Nena Onwaha decided to make this film, The Adventures of the Black Girl in Her Search for Mabel Dove. And this is what we see here, a film where a black girl is looking for Mabel Dove to ask questions, to talk about what she didn't like in Mabel Dove's story, to talk about discrimination that is happening still a lot, and to meet her. And in this film, it's like she's meeting a white feminist, a black scholar who is not helping her because she wants also a queer reading of what she's doing. And then she meets cyberspace and has the opportunity to really connect and find Mabel Dove. And this is what you can see here in the exhibition, as well as a lot of research which Nena collected over the years.
I returned to tell the revisionist on cyberspace that I have new information and want to try again, to search a living archive for Mabel Dove, Marjorie Mensah, and all her other aliases.
I think Mabel does that first with her story, where she goes to find Shaw and confront him. But I have some challenges with how she does that. So on the one hand, she doesn't like his depiction of a black girl because she's carrying like a walking stick, and she's depicted as naked. So Mabel's black girl is more modern and has been to school and holds a tennis racket to show that she's a modern black girl. But I don't think she goes far enough with rewriting or confronting, so she's still very much in love with with Shaw and very Anglophilic, and just like everything that comes out of London is amazing. So I think I am trying to rewrite a history that's more critical of that.
When you come into the gallery, you see the film Nena edited and shot, and large textiles, which are the inlay actually from the book by Bernard Shaw, where the black girl vanishes into nature. And Nena did also ask a graphic designer to paint the three girls in another new way. And you can also see the illustrations here, like the historic ones by Bernard Shaw's illustrator and the newly developed. And also when you come into the second room of the gallery, you can sit down in beanbags. There's an archive table. You will also find historic documents of racism, like how German editions translated the English book by Bernard Shaw in time periods. And you will find a new book which Nana put together out of Mabel Duff's articles together with the new illustrations. In the space you also find the costume that the cyberspace wears in the film and the headpiece that cyberspace also wears. And if you're looking close enough, you find the Bible text, "Seek and ye shall find me," on one window, like the frame of the window, which is the starting point of the Black Girl by Bernard Shaw, which asks a missionary, "Where do I find God?" And the missionary says, God says, "Seek and ye shall find me." So that's the starting point of the story by Shaw, and you find it also in the space. And in the opening, we had a great concert by Oyane Roach, who did a lot of sounds, sampled and mixed it at the set directly when we were there, and the atmosphere was very intimate and familiar, and it was a great concert. For each exhibition we do a curatorial tour. As this exhibition is a solo exhibition, Nana and I will do the tour together, and Nana will talk about her research and how she works, and we talk about how we're working together.
So I think I'm also rewriting, not necessarily in terms of Shaw, but in terms of Mabel. And yeah, as much as I love her work and want to amplify it, that I wish she had done more.